And turning now to the Chinese military, the People's Liberation Army, or PLA, has shown itself to be aggressive to neighbors of China like India and Taiwan. However, is it a match for the U.S.?
We delve into this question with Antonio Graceffo. He's a China economic analyst and the author of Red Alert, China's Global Power and How It Threatens U.S. National Security. He recently published a piece in the Epoch Times saying the PLA may be a paper tiger. He says that's something that looks ferocious, but may be unable to fight. Here are the reasons why he says that.
So first of all, we know that there is massive corruption within the PLA, and there have been all these purges related to corruption. Along with that corruption has been things like faulty equipment, fake equipment, failed equipment, stolen equipment, missing equipment. So we're curious, out of the missiles, for example, because we know that the rocket force was heavily hit by this corruption issue, how many of the claimed or existing missiles are actually able to fire? How many of them can really can be used, in a war, that sort of thing? So corruption is one of the problems. The other thing is if you keep arresting and jailing your top military leaders, well, then you don't have military leaders with leadership experience. China has no military, to my knowledge, they have no combat veterans that are still serving. The last time China fought a major war was 1979 with Vietnam. And that's not actually a major war. It's relatively short, but it was a major war in the sense that it was two full-scale armies fighting battles. But that was 1979. So they don't have combat experience the way the Americans do. Their equipment doesn't have combat experience. We know the equipment that they're selling to other countries is frequently faulty. I've just done another report on failures of Chinese weapons that have been sold throughout Africa and to Pakistan and things like that. So are they actually making their own weapons at a higher quality than those or not? And finally, China builds their equipment based on our technology, which is already dated, because it takes time to steal it, then it takes time to reverse engineer it, then it takes time to come out with a new fighter. So, for example, a fighter jet in China that China is producing today might be based on a U.S. design from 5 or 6 or even 8 years ago.
Yes, we know the theft of intellectual property is presenting a big challenge coming out of Beijing. And just for our viewers' information, China's PLA has about 2.8 million members, which is about double the size of the United States. There's a piece in Responsible Statecraft that asserts that China's military has become stronger and more assertive in recent years, but the author says that the shortcoming of calculations about the PLA lie in over-examining the contingencies around Taiwan and overlooking Beijing's ability or inability to conquer any major powers in the region like Japan, South Korea, and Australia. Do you agree with this?
Yes, I strongly agree with both those points. And that brings up another point. She wants to have a blue water navy. Blue water navy means a navy that's capable of exerting power far away from home to other continents and things like that. Well, they absolutely can't do that. They only have one overseas military base. They have the one in Djibouti. They have a lot of ports around the world that are civilian ports that they have allegedly outfitted to be able to service their military vessels, but they don't have, military crews there. They can't resupply. The Chinese Air Force would not be able to participate in a war that was beyond the flight capability or the flight range, beginning in China, because they don't have overseas Air Force bases. We don't even know for a fact that they would be able to defeat Japan, as was claimed in that article.
And in addition, and alongside what you're saying, in 2021, the DoD released a report on China's military saying that it's gearing up towards intelligentized warfare, saying that it's leveraging technology to, quote, attrition warfare by intelligent swarms, cross-domain mobile warfare, AI-based space confrontation, and cognitive control operations. Very concerning stuff here. Antonio Graceffo, China economic analyst and author of Red Alert, thank you for your time.
Thank you.